Hello friends and family, welcome back to my channel. How are you doing? I hope you are keeping well wherever you are in the world. Shout out to my cash flow queen Denise Comenan and our bestie Valerie A. Campbell for sharing my last video on the various hyperverse WhatsApp platforms. Very much appreciated, and for the members that watched and commented on the platforms, I am very, very grateful. To those new to my channel, you are welcome, and all returning listeners, I'm very grateful for your time. I feel encouraged by the various kindness I receive privately and publicly too. It's been quite a while, it's been busy positively, but I am glad to be back. This content is about property ownership. And may I ask you a question? Do you know you could own your home and also be a landlord? Even if you don't know, I believe you can be a landlord, either solely or as a joint venture, or you can own a home. However, do your due diligence if you intend to pursue either or both ventures. A non-proven way of generating income and financial freedom is being a homeowner and or a landlord. Some landlords own several properties, and this is their only source of income. But it doesn't have to be so for everybody. Such people have large property portfolios, but be careful not to bite more than you can chew. During the recession in 2008 and 2009, some investors lost some of their entire property portfolio. You have to bear in mind the risk of repossession if you do not pay your mortgage. Slow and steady, they say, wins the race. Do not go beyond your capacity. In the United Kingdom, the banks would soon discard your earning capacity as part of mortgage approval. I will deal with this risk in another episode. In some parts of the world, people aim to build and not rent. In these parts of the world, you don't have to necessarily take a mortgage to build. Some have the financial capacity to build without a bank. However, as the world progresses, investors can now approach banks for a loan to build. In this part of the world, United Kingdom, to be precise, most landlords take a mortgage or seek investors, and this is worth considering, but I am not advising you to be an investor in another person's property development venture. However, I have tried and tested it, and it works. You know, when you hear the statement, you don't need your money to buy property, it technically means you get loan from the bank and others. There will be an agreement on how it will be paid back and duration. These have to be formalized in case of default, and you need to take the borrower to a civil court. This is a way, but not the only way and not the main way. Please do your due diligence. Don't lose your money and assess the risk. Does the borrower have a good track record, and what do those in their network say about them? In the West, most of us need mortgage most times, and in order to qualify for a buy-to-let in the United Kingdom or to buy your own property, you need to prepare. I would recommend you speak to a mentor or a broker for guidance on what you would require as part of your preparation for a buy-to-let mortgage process or to buy a property where you live. Conditions have changed so much over time, so you need to gather intelligence. The broker would advise you on what is required or what you need to do in preparation to buy your property, either to live in or as a landlord. Permit me to share some expertise tips specifically for the United Kingdom. And these are not in any way in particular order, neither are they exhaustive, but these are some ways, they have some tips. Number one, in preparation to get a mortgage from a bank, check your credit record and score with appropriate agencies. Number two, if you are self-employed, ensure you have 2 years self-assessment with the Inland Revenue. Number three, if you are a pay-as-you-earn employee, they call it PAYE, collect your pay slips at least 3 months to the date of your application to the broker, and your solicitor will ask you for the same as part of conveyancing. A conveyancing solicitor will handle all legal aspects of buying or selling a property for you. Always do your due diligence. You can check reviews excluding the firm's website and ensure the solicitor is registered with the Law Society in the United Kingdom. Number four, be aware of the deposit required. 5% as a first-time buyer, and 25% buy-to-let. Start saving and be able to declare to your solicitor the source or sources of your income from your bank statement. Because of fraud and anti-laundering legislations, your solicitor will ask you these questions. This is not only what is required with regards to funds you need to complete your purchase. Hence, I would say you collate and get a rough guide from either your mentor or a broker, or some estate agents are also able to guide you. You need to count your costs. You cannot start the process and pull out. You will lose funds and money. Hence, the Bible story comes to mind. You know, I always share the Bible with you on this platform. And this channel is about my faith as a Christian, lifestyle, and social issues. So I'm going to read to you Luke chapter 14, verses 28 to 30. And it's relevant to us pursuing financial freedom or trying to buy a property or develop our property portfolios. And it says, verse 28, suppose one of you wants to build a tower. Won't you first sit down and estimate the cost to see if you have enough money to complete it? For if you lay the foundation and are not able to finish it, everyone who sees it will ridicule you. Verse 30 saying, this person began to build and wasn't able to finish. Counting cost and intelligence is very, very important. Please do your calculations and get appropriate intelligence and education in this area. You don't want to start, then not have enough funds and lose your money. By the way, your conveyancing solicitor will ask you if you do have the funds. Number 5, reduce your debts. Clear credit cards and overdrafts. And can I ask you a question? Do you need those credit cards? Please avoid the temptation to spend and give your hard-earned money to someone already wealthy, but making money from you whilst asleep because of the credit card spendings. I have been there. I've done it. I have the t-shirt, but I am wiser now. Once cleared, cut them up and just keep one active, but use and clear immediately. Also, you can use as part of the cost of purchasing a property, but clear it as a matter of priority. Number 6, determine a broker or speak to your network for a broker. I cannot emphasize again the importance of you doing due diligence. Number 7, be aware of stamp duty to pay as part of your completion process. Number 8, get a rough guide of conveyancing fees. Be careful of those who will give you a low rate initially and then add some other areas of cost, and not everything the solicitor asks for or recommend is mandatory and necessary. Hence, you need some intelligence, and codependency is so imperative in this journey. You cannot do it alone. There are people who are more experienced than you and I, and you must seek their guidance. Number 9, ensure the location is competitive and cost of property could be higher as a result of close proximity to transport, crossroad development, outstanding schools, shops, regeneration, amongst others. Number 10, be mindful of the scheme you intend to pursue and conditions. Do you want to own the property outright if you want to live in it? Or do you want to pursue shared ownership, help to buy scheme by the government? Or you want to buy from the local authority the property you are occupying now? So be mindful of the scheme and the processes. Number 11, consider interest rates. Get the calculations for fixed and variable interest rates. Fixed for 2 or 5 years is often recommended by brokers. And during inflation, this would be to your advantage. Also consider repayment or interest-only mortgage. No calculations and ensure it's affordable. It is advisable to take on repayment for your place of abode. And fixed interest rate. This will help you for the place you are tenanting out to people. Number 12, consider method to procure the property. Are you going to get it from an agent or from an auction? Both come at a price. Whilst purchase at auction is buy as seen, it will set you back as much as £6,000 or more to the auction company. Also, bear in mind the cost of buying property in a conservation area or a listed building. The regulations are even more stringent and can be costly. Please count the costs before parting with your money, especially your deposits. In addition, there is a regulation that requires you to contribute to churches in particular areas. That means the repair of certain churches. in certain areas. Your conveyancing solicitor will check this as part of the conveyancing process. These are just some of the tips. There will be more. And I hope you found this really useful. Please send this video to everyone considering buying their own property or considering developing their property portfolio. Because things have changed, legislations have changed, and we all need to prepare before pursuing the acquisition of any property. Thanks ever so much for listening. Be encouraged on this journey and involve God in the process. Until we meet again, I have to assure you that Jesus loves you. I love you too. Take care of yourself and each other. God bless you. God bless me. Bye for now.